Ottawa has been thrilling as of late. Not their weather, but their football team. Ottawa became the second team in CFL history to win consecutive OT games last week. Hamilton, though, they've won 8 straight meetings against the Red Blacks, and Bo Levi Mitchell officially back. He hadn't played since week 2 when he got injured against the Toronto Argonauts. He had a couple really nice drives to start the game, but it was a downpour at that point. He converted on a couple second downs, looked good, but we're not going to break down those 2 plays any longer because that's all we've seen this evening. But coming back into this game, Ches, it's been approximately a 1-hour weather delay. The teams are ready to go kick off, coming back in about 4 minutes or so. What are you looking for at this point from these teams?
I'm not looking for anything from the teams specifically, Kate.
Yep.
My specialty is live betting. So I'm looking now that the game is started and we've started to play the game. I can actually get in a live bet because this is my specialty. Even though we only seen 4 plays.
So you have an edge on this.
I have a massive edge.
Then you have to tell people.
Live betting, not a sprinkle. Sprinkle's pregame. Live betting, I chuck it in.
Okay.
But I do like the Ticats right now in a live bet, whatever they have.
So that's what you saw on the first drive.
It's near a pickup. I just look. I'm joking. Usually I see more in a game before I jump in on a live bet. But I do have a feel with Hamilton in this game, and it's let's get going.
Yeah, I look at the Hamilton defense, and we hadn't seen him yet. I'm anxious to see him.
Isn't they were yelling back and forth? Is that what Jalen Ackland said? The Ottawa's defense was yelling back and forth at each other. Anyway,
I could see that happening
after one series.
Yeah, well, both teams on the same side. They're like talking to each other like this, just screaming at each other. I'm just saying. I think Ottawa's defense is going to have a chance to settle down because I think Bo was getting a read on him, a couple of second down conversions. Kate, sorry to talk about that again, but I just it's anticipation of a good football game here. How it's going to play out. I think Dustin Crum's going to have another good football game, and hopefully Bo settles down because we're all pulling for that guy. And these defenses are hard-nosed and as good as any. I look at the lineup for Hamilton. It's like that. This is Grey Cup caliber defense here. It's got to play like it, right? And I expect to see that play out tonight.
For Hamilton, I want to see what they do in this first half. That's been their Achilles heel. They've been outscored, I think, 108-41 in the first half. And when you get down like that, it's very difficult to come back. So they got to allow Bo to finish this drive and possibly score, and their defense needs to come out and play some great ball. For Ottawa, Bahar and Crum. Is Crum going to come out in this first drive and try to feed Bahar right away? Just get him going right away, because in those first games he started with him. It's been later on in the game. It's been impactful, but I want to see if he can come out right away and get Bahar going immediately.
I want to see Ken. I want to see
CFL Ken.
I want to see Jalen Ackland. That's the guy I'd be leaning on. I understand Crum; he's a great second down conversion guy, but Jalen Ackland to me is just scratching the surface of his abilities, and I think Crum is going to realize that more and more, that he's a go-to guy and a game breaker and playmaker.
Are you going to spy Crum after watching what Cameron Judge did last week, using his legs so much? You got to think that we're going to see this again.
Well, you set yourself up because the back's going to be uncovered in a situation like that. You can slip out, and so you got to pick your poison, and you take one or the other. And from what I've seen from his ability to run the football, I would think that I would definitely keep somebody on him and mirror him across the field, because he's a beast with his legs, and that puts so much pressure on DBs because you're going to man coverage in your zone. Now you can just pull it down because you're dropping back and he's gashing you for big gains and getting down and not getting hit.
Yeah, I would spy, because you look at the one thing that
there he is. We asked for a shot of CFL Ken. We got it.
If you take away. If you spy, then you know where you're losing your guy is on inside breaking routes from your slots. If you have big body slots, that's a problem, because now they have the inside position. It's tough to handle, but Ottawa doesn't really have a bunch of guys like that.
Hamilton, average yards given up on first down defensively, 8 yards. 8 yards. They got to correct that. And that's why you spy him, because you know he can use his legs, and if he gets those yards, you're in 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3. There's no way they can win this game.
But the problem is, too, that's where the chemistry with Nate Bahar has become, because he spots it, boom, ball gone. So it'll be interesting. You know what? Come on, Barbie, let's go party.
Have the same Barbie, now that I think about it.
Have you guys seen Barbie yet?
No.
Haven't seen it?
Oh, you know what? Our fill's over. We can't break down the Barbie movie.
But I haven't seen it.
Sorry, Milt. I know you have.
We're going to all wear pink and dye our hair pink?
Yeah, that works.
Thank goodness. Let's go to Ottawa. Here's football.
As we welcome you to the set of Oppenheimer to change things up from Barbie here. Welcome back, everybody, to the nation's capital. As you see, the weather has cleared out as we promised you. We wouldn't lie to the good people of this nation and beyond. CFL football ready to be played once again in Ottawa.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting restart to the game, because the players obviously go through a routine every game day, as you know, Marshall, and they're down to the second when it comes to warm-up and their pregame meals and how they prepare and going over their checklists and all of their playbooks and everything like that. So right now they're trying to get that focus back. We'll pick up where we left off. Hamilton had the football, but, for the coaches, they're trying to keep that intensity there, because, when you walk on the field, you don't feel like you're touching it at the beginning of a game, and then you sit around for a little while. And in fact, some of the guys in the receiving corps were playing poker down there, as we heard from Kenzie's interview.
Of card games and everything else. Here's the latest Doppler radar for you to be able to bring you the full update of what it looks like. I know there's still scary colors, but did we go toss lead through the A-gap? What do we do here?
Yeah, we did. We took the bad stuff, we pushed it that way, and we're going to hold off this other stuff up at the top here, that red stuff. That's out. We're right in that A-gap, and we're ready to kick it off.
A seal and a kick out, and off we go as Hamilton has the football with a 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line of the Ottawa REDBLACKS. And these delays never easy. This is, of course, the challenge of summer football, not just in the nation's capital, but at various places around the country. Some of these players a little bit more used to it than others. We'll see how they respond. Welcome back to in-game action as TD Place is thrilled after a delay to watch Bo Levi Mitchell take the snap with the blitz on right away over the middle, and he completes it. It does go to Tim White. Missed him on the first drive of the game, about an hour or so ago, and hit him on this one.
Well, that break didn't seem to bother White or Bo Levi Mitchell, because this was a tight window to get it in there. It looked like Javon Santos-Knox just overran it a little bit. He's back in the lineup for the first game, and just trying to get his legs underneath him. He just overran that a little bit, and Bo found that seam.
Mitchell staring down some pressure from the boundary. They do fire that way. Don't get home. He misses. Slips high. It's intercepted. Ottawa taking it back the left sideline with blockers out in front. James Butler trying to get a hand. And it was a miss in his return from Bo. Ottawa jumps on the early turnover.
Well, it's blitz, and when Bo reads the blitz, he knows he's got a guy that goes right down the hole, and that's Duke Williams, but he just flat out overthrows him. And Douglas Coleman says, I'll take that. Any overthrow around the middle, and you're in big trouble. And you can see how much Bo Levi Mitchell misses Williams on this throw. I mean, up over top, and Coleman's taking the other way.
Levi Mitchell trying to track it down in behind with Lorenzo Malden giving him a little bump as we'll get the first possession here of the Ottawa REDBLACKS. Dustin Crum at the helm. They'll begin with 4 receivers into the short side of the field. A different look. Go heavy. Crum will pull the football on first down, flips it out. And that is the returning receiver Shaq Evans, incomplete on his first target of the year.
Yeah, first game back, but yeah, let's take a look at Dustin Crum, and he's over 600 yards passing, as Shaq Evans will be talking to himself about that one. Just get back into the swing of things. 2-0 as a starter, as you know, and he was down on the 2-yard line against Hamilton when he came on for the injured Jeremiah Masoli against the Ticats in Hamilton.
Great 2nd and 10 after the incompletion. Crum with a deeper drop, steps forward. He'll use the legs, trying to find somewhere to run. Jameer Thurman introduces himself to the standout quarterback from Ottawa, and it won't be enough as a gain of 8 on the play.
Well, the guys talked about it, and we're going to look at it very closely to see how Hamilton tries to handle the running of Dustin Crum. He's got enough video on him now that teams playing against him will know that he's going to do this a ton. He loves it. He's leaning into it. He's a dual threat guy. So a couple of things. Hamilton, will they spy? Or will they just try to play sound defense, take care of their own responsibilities, and rally to him? I'll tell you one thing. they want to hit him as many times as they can if he wants to run.
Absolutely. This one with Tyreek McAllister standing deep in the end zone will come from about 49, 50 yards away, right in between the two. Richie Leone puts it down quickly. Lewis Ward hammers it, and it's good. Ottawa with the early lead here as Lewis Ward improves on his percentage for the year. Came in 17 of 18, make it 18 of 19.
Take a look at the last 8 meetings between these two teams, and yeah, Orlando Steinhauer not lost to the Ottawa REDBLACKS as the head coach of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Bo Levi Mitchell comes in after throwing his 5th interception of the season. Phyllis Gauthier, the fullback, is in and will go to the ground game. Cutting back right into the tackling arms of Frankie Griffin from his weak side linebacker spot was James Butler. Let's get a look at the Ottawa defense.
Well, we'll watch the matchup between Lorenzo Malden and Brandon Kemp and see how Malden does in that one-on-one throughout this game. You look at the linebacking core. I mentioned Javon Santos-Knox playing his first game of the season off the 6-game injured list. And then in the secondary, they get Sherrod Baltimore back at corner.
3 on first down. Flags come up on the snap. Mitchell looks over the middle, wide open. Tim White crossing route, crosses midfield, stays inbounds, takes another hit before White goes down. We'll get a look at the penalty. It looks like it's going to be against Hamilton.
We'll take a look. Bo Levi Mitchell just walked straight to where the tackle was made, but they're going backwards.
The wishful thinking from 19.
Yeah.
We hear from Dave Foxcroft, our lead official here this evening.
Offside. Hamilton. It's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
No number, although it looked like there was some early movement. It's like there was some. Take a look here. It looked like the O-line moved too at the top of the screen, and then you can see the offside right there.
That was Kai Loxley in a receiver, listed as the 3rd quarterback. We expect to see plenty of that here this evening. Former backup in Edmonton. Bo against pressure, looks over the middle. This one completed. It's Abdul Kana wrapping up high on 2nd and long. But it is Keandre Smith hauling it in for a gain of 13.
Right at the sticks. Now, I think this is what during the break the panel was talking about with Bo and trying to figure him out. It's just, you know, where is he at right now? Where is he at with his health? Where is he at with his mindset? You know, can he regain some of that, you know, great accuracy and championship caliber quarterback play that he had in Calgary? We've seen a little bit of both already tonight.
Gio McAllister fake the flip there, come backside screen. Butler with a block right in front. Walter Woodmans, he gets a body, and in the screen game, it started slow, it ends fast as James Butler down near the 41-yard line, a gain of 18.
Yeah, a little misdirection to get started here, Marcy. They're going to try and influence the defense one way and then have Butler sneak out the opposite side. So you're going to have a little bit of misdirection, and there's a fake to him. See how Bo turned to the left, tried to look like he was going to throw like a hit screen outside, and then dropped it to number 9. They got to get him more involved. The panel talked about that as well.
Van Soto's Knox, the one that got blocked up by Woodmansey there. They'll hand it off inside to the shifty Tyreek McAllister. Not much doing up front, but trying to get him involved in every little way they can tonight.
Well, there's the first thing. We knew there's going to be some interesting offensive formations tonight. Tommy Condell is he's gone down and finding some new formations. We may see Kai Loxley out here as a receiver tonight. You're going to see Tyreek McAllister as a receiver, but we just saw him as a tailback.
Line up this time in the 5-receiver set. McAllister at the bottom of your screen, wearing 35. He motions down the line as Mitchell takes the snap against 4-man pressure. Looks into the dig route to Tim White, catches it. Crossing to the 20-yard line and still driving the legs. Tim White trying to set the tone here coming out after the lightning delay.
Well, you know, the read, it looks like, is Javon Santos-Knox for Bo Levi Mitchell, because he is working the middle of the field. Whether it's a good throw or a bad one, he's working the middle. Look at Santos-Knox moves this way in the screen, and as soon as he sees the linebacker up and moving to the back, he's looking down the middle. Whether it's man or zone, that's the area he's attacking right now.
Bo making that throw look easy. The same part of the field he threw the interception just a few short minutes ago. Gain of 25 yards for Tim White. This time they'll fake the inside run, flip it out. It's Ron Gauthier with his second catch of the season. There he nearly got to the end zone, but tackled inside the 5. It'll be first and goal, Tiger Cats, after a gain of 11.
Nice looking drive. These are called tendency breakers. Gauthier's not going to touch the ball a whole bunch, and that's why the defense is a little bit surprised by it and have to react to it.
Late substitution here from the Red Blacks as they take out Thomas Schaefer, the big global out of Vienna, Austria. Mitchell in the gun. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Over the top, Duke Williams, jump ball! Touchdown, Tiger Cats! As Duke gets his first in black and gold.
Mentioned off the top, he's their leading receiver. He's been the #1 target for whomever's played quarterback for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but hadn't found the end zone just yet. Little throw to the back shoulder in the one-on-one, and that's a matchup that Bo Levi Mitchell will take. It's a big receiver, big, strong receiver. With a decent dance step.
Well, he's got about 6 inches, nearly 50 pounds on Abdul Kana. He finishes off an 8-play, 70-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Here comes Mark Leggio. Misses the extra point as Leggio sends that one wide. Returned by Brandon Dandridge. The Tiger Cats last in the CFL at PAT conversion rate at 71%. Drop that number down, and they will hold at 6-3 the lead with Duke Williams going up over the top of Canna. Goes and gets it, and Bo loves it.
Well, a little inconsistent out of the huddle and restarting this game for Bo Levi Mitchell, but he really settled in that drive. I mean, that was an 8-play drive, 70 yards, took about 5 minutes off the clock, and some accurate throws going after sort of the middle of the field and in between the hashes, and then found Duke Williams, his #1 target, in the end zone for his first TD of the season.
After throwing, let's be honest, was a pretty bad interception.
Oh, and it was you don't have to sugarcoat it. It was a bad overthrow.
He comes back out and goes 5 for 5 for 70 yards and a touchdown. Now the Red Blacks will get a chance to answer. Brandon Dandridge catches this one around his knees at the 10. Big hit right at the point of attack. And the Hamilton special teams unit thriving in coverage this time as Dustin Crum comes back out onto the field. It's been a little while since the Crum back. 19 points. We'll see what he has in store. Well, the Crumback's certainly one of the more memorable things that's happened here at TD Place in quite some time. Crum Dog Millionaire, the Crumback Kid, Crumlumbo. What do you like, Suits? What's your favorite nickname for what the heck has happened with this team over the last couple weeks?
Down by 16 against the Bombers, come back and win that one. And then last week in Calgary, again, another overtime game, back-to-back overtime wins. And in the second one, Crum had to throw for the winning 2 points.
In here with a handoff inside, it goes to Devontae Williams. Started week 1, missed 3 games, 10 carries last week for 57 yards. Nice to have him in the backfield with a power running quarterback. Coach Orlando Steiner of the Ticats told us he doesn't run just to be able to slide. He runs to score.
Yeah, like a tailback in the backfield when he's out in the open field. So that's what I'll be watching for, to see if Hamilton spies him. Maybe Simone Lawrence will try and mirror him like they did Cam Judge in Calgary.
This time it's Malik Carney wandering around, staring down Crum. Lots of time in the pocket. Thought about throwing it backwards. Now he shovels it forwards to Devontae Williams. Diving forward. And this is what happens, right? So it's when you end up spying, make him make decisions.
Well, exactly. And this is the 007 right here. This is Carney. He's going to be the 007 player. And watch how he mirrors Crum. This is a spy technique. Don't rush the quarterback. Don't drop in coverage. Just spy and mirror him. If he goes one way, you got to track him down. You're in charge of hustling to the quarterback. It's good against the run. It also voids the zone in the pass game.
Interesting, the athleticism of Carney, who's got 3 sacks already on the season, being used as the spy, not wanting to sacrifice one of the linebackers on that snap. We'll keep an eye on it for you as Tyreek McAllister catches this one back at his 25, gets skinny, runs away from 2 arm tackles, now 3, gets to the field and gets wrapped up. It'll be a kick of 56 yards. We've got more on Bo Levi Mitchell when we come back on the other side as the former Stamp makes his return to black and gold. An eventful first quarterback for Bo Levi Mitchell, had his 5th interception of the season. This is 2nd touchdown of the year. For more on the leading man in Hamilton, let's send it down to Kenzie Lalonde. Kenzie?
Yeah, thanks, Marshall. When I spoke to Bo yesterday, he had said it's, whether he plays or doesn't play, wins or loses, he'll always judge himself on how well he prepares. So he spent some time over the 4 games he missed really learning this offense. He went back and watched some tape of how some former Ticats QBs worked in this system. He looked at Masoli tapes, Zach Claros and Dave Evans as well. And Bo really leaned on Matthew Schultz, who has that extra year in this system, and really leaned on him to see how he reads some of these plays. And as we know, they'll get a little creative here tonight, so we'll see how him and Tommy Condell continue to work together this season.
In fact, we heard that we may even see a little Taylor Powell tonight as well.
Tommy Condell calling it down to Bo here tonight, the Tiger Cats offensive coordinator. He'll call a passing play here on first down over the top. Going off schedule again. They tried to get the fullback, Grongochi, down the shooter. Was McAllister trying to steal it?
Yeah, it almost looked like it. You don't normally see 2 players in that same area that close together. You're trying to spread the field, trying to make sure you have lots of room in between guys, so one defender can't cover both of you. And again, just missing that deep. Just too far for one and too short for the other.
Leaves them with 2nd down and 10. Hamilton's 7th best in the CFL at converting on 2nd and 7+. Just 32% of the time. They get a blitz look. They will pressure. Underneath the hot red. It goes to Terry Godwin, and he'll have enough for the first down.
But this is recognition first from Mitchell. I mean, he is not flustered by this. He's seen it 100 times. He knows the blitz is coming. He can't block them all. So he's just got to go to his hot read as he's retreating.
We were here about a month ago, Suits, and saw Jarrett Daggy go 0 for on 2nd down conversions in the first half against this Red Blacks defense. Bo right now in the Tiger Cats 5 for 5 on 2nd downs converting. They'll have to do it again after a minimal gain on 1st down with the running game.
Yeah, it was a good discussion by the panel and talking about how, I think a lot of people analyzing Bo Levi Mitchell in his career now have been actually nice and courteous and respectful, I guess, is the best way to say it. Because he, at the end of last year when he lost the job in Calgary and the beginning of this year in his first 2 games, just hasn't looked like the old Bo. But I think he's got a lot of football in him. And keep in mind, his first 2 games were against pretty good defenses, yes. Winnipeg and Toronto.
On the road in Winnipeg. Not an easy way to start your time. Jeremiah Masoli knows that as he did it for Ottawa. This time Mitchell floats one up on a corner route. It's up for grabs and incomplete. Looking down the field for who else? Kai Loxley, the 3rd string quarterback playing at receiver.
Yeah, we were given the inside information that we might see some interesting formations, and the third-string quarterback may be out there at the receiver position. Kyle Oxley's done that before. He's a great athlete. And Mitchell was looking for him to win that jump ball.
Sends out the kicking unit as Brandon Dandridge back to return. And kicked by Bailey Flint. Nice high spiraling boot. Drops all the way down inside the 5. Dandridge will pick it up from there. Being tracked down from behind by a host of Ticats tacklers. Carthel Flowers Lloyd and his 12 special teams tackles coming in. As all over it is Dustin Crum. Comes back out as we look at the Ottawa offense.
Well, I put Jacob Ruby up there because apparently the O-line has been giving him a lot of the nicknames. So I figured that he'd be leading that chorus, and there were a bunch of them already after just 2.5 games. But Nate Bahar's become his #1 target, and Shaq Evans is back in the lineup. First game for Evans.
Yeah, great to see Shaq back. Unfortunately has a drop already early on in this one, as he'll split out to the top of your screen wearing #1, #2 Justin Hardy right next to him. Already 50 targets on the season coming in to tonight. Crum flips the rock, flips his hips, and nearly throws an interception. Trying to find the simple stuff, but put it in the wrong spot. Richard Leonard almost jumped all over it.
Let's take a look at the Cats starting defense. Malik Carney, we've already seen he's a great athlete at defensive end, and now they've actually had him spy Dustin Crum in the last series. And then there's Kyle Wilson starting in the middle for Jameer Thurman. We'll see both. And then in the secondary, they bump Richard Leonard out to corner, and Tunde Adeleke is going to play the halfback.
Second down and 10. Dangerous situation here for Ottawa. This time Jameer Thurman spies Crum. A race to the edge. Crum tries to cut back. He's wrapped up by Stavros Katsantonis. It'll be short of the yardage required, but they are mixing and matching, trying to figure out who can track down Dustin Crum after a gain of 5.
Yeah, and that's going to open up some zones in the passing game as they, this game evolves. We'll see how the Red Blacks make the adjustments because, yeah, you've seen Carney, and that was Jameer Thurman. He was hugging the line of scrimmage so that he could chase down Crum. So not giving a steady diet of one guy spying. A couple of double agents in there.
A shot there, Mark Washington with that defense. Last in the CFL at points allowed, but doing a good job through the first quarter. This one falls down, goes to McAllister, and quick once again. Gets north-south so speedily as that is the end of the first quarter. A 55-yard punt returned across the 55 for Tyreek McAllister. We had a rain delay, lightning delay, weather in the area. It's cleared out, and the fireworks continue with the second quarter when we return to Friday Night Football. For a very long first quarter of play, your score 6-3. The Hamilton Tiger Cats just 5 passing yards right now for Dustin Crum, as he hasn't really had many opportunities to get the legs going either. The Hamilton Tiger Cats bullied by Mitchell, and it was a slow start after the lightning delay, but he is starting to settle in and look a little bit more like himself.
I don't want to give excuses or anything like that. A couple of those bad throws, the interception, the overthrow, I mean, it's been pouring rain, and maybe it was just a slip on one of those throws anyway, but I think he's settling in. I mean, that throw to Duke Williams for the touchdown, a big one. And, again, his resume speaks for itself. So I think Bo's settling in. Now, Crum, on the other hand, 2.5 games played. Now they're going to have to figure out how to exploit the fact that linebackers are hugging the line of scrimmage or a defensive end is going to spy him.
The difference between working around it and using it to their advantage. We'll find out when Ottawa has possession. Right now, it's the Tiger Cats with a toss play on 1st and 10 to begin the second quarter. There's Lorenzo Malden all the way out to the sideline making a play.
He's been a little nicked up the last couple of weeks, but still getting it done. And to me, rush ends like Lorenzo Malden are worth the price of admission. You could sit at a ball game and watch Lorenzo Malden just go to work and just focus on that. And enjoy your night.
Yeah, he is fun. Doesn't matter if he's pass rushing, getting out to the sideline. Stacks up Butler that time after a gain of just 2. 2nd and 8. Mitchell, deep drop, looks underneath, crossing route from McAllister right at the line of scrimmage, and it'll be a loss on the play. As the Ottawa defense, Javon Santos knocks all over it after spending the last 2 years in Hamilton.
Well, guess who was right in his face? Lorenzo Malden's coming off the edge, and he is so quick in his bull rush here against Brandon Kemp that Bo sees him immediately, or at least feels him right there in his kitchen, and just dumps it off to Tyreek McAllister as quickly as he can.
So get a look there at the ability of Lorenzo Malden. Breakout star last year. Again, we always forget this as well. Former Hamilton Tiger Cat. Like we're talking about Carriel Brooks in the lineup, Javon Santos Knox. Lots of former Hamilton players with Ottawa after Sean Burke comes over to become general manager and brings a plethora of players with him. But Lozo might be the best amongst them. He has been great for them. Flint drops this down inside the 20-yard line. Coverage unit all over it again for Hamilton tonight. They are flying around. As we get a chance to hear from Bob Dice, the head coach of the Ottawa REDBLACKS, on the experience of coaching Dustin Crum.
He's just an honest, hard-working guy who just wants to get better at everything that he does. And it transfers through to how he plays. You know, he works so hard in the film room. He's a great communicator with the receiving corps. And then when he gets out there, probably the most surprising part of his game was getting to see how mobile he was. And he does a great job of it.
Snap comes up here. A little bit off kilter. Doesn't matter. Right down the chute goes Devontae Williams. And a big gainer on the ground. Nothing new for the REDBLACKS.
Well, it's also the threat of Crum running on the outside that's going to open up inside run lane. So this is a play that, you know, I'm sure Ottawa will go to the well on a bunch, because you've got to stay wide in containment on Dustin Crum because he can get the edge so quickly. So those run lanes between the tackles are a little bit wider.
Gain of 19% of rush attempts for the REDBLACKS go for 10 or more yards. This time Crum pulls it, swings back inside, tries to make a man miss, and everybody is there in the bright yellow pants to stack him up and throw him back.
Same play going the opposite direction, and it's going to be the athletic Malik Carney that causes the problems. He's going to come up and get in the right contain mode. So it's the same type of play where either Crum can give it there or pull it. He pulls it, and he doesn't pull Carney down enough, so he slows him down. And then as you can see, they want to get hats on the football.
Leaves him with 2nd and 7. Blitz is on. 6-man pressure from the Tiger Cats over the middle. Justin Hardy completes. Turns the legs inside the Hamilton 50.
So here's how you can exploit it. And when we talked to Bob Dice about Calgary spying Crum with Cam Judge and the anticipation that Hamilton might do the same with a variety of players, it looks like tonight, well, you're voiding a zone over that middle, especially if you're using a linebacker to mirror him. So they're okay with the spy technique.
Justin Hardy, once upon a time at Eastern Carolina, the all-time leader in NCAA career catches. Adds another one to his CFL career tally here. Crum takes the run, steps forward, pressure on Thurman trying to chase him down. Now he's one-on-one against Simone Lawrence, and Lawrence rides him out of bounds, running towards the right sideline. And a big hit there after the play. Drew Desjardins didn't like it at all.
Well, that's what I mean about early on. Clearly, the Hamilton defense have said if he runs, everybody's got to get a shot at him. So hustle and go. I'm not talking about a dirty shot. I'm not talking about breaking the rules. The question is, was this too far out of bounds with Simone Lawrence? That extra little push. And then here comes the protection.
And no penalty out of bounds. No unnecessary roughness call against Drew Desjardins. Play on. 2nd and 8. Crum with the blitz on. Pumps. Now he'll throw. Gets blasted. And this one out of bounds behind the play as Crum picks himself up off the turf and a flag is down.
He took a big hit there. And was just trying to throw that away. Thurman steps around and then takes Crum to the ground. That was him just running out of options and saving the loss.
Cut block, Ottawa. That's a 15-yard major foul. It'll be applied after the play. Third down.
And Crum holding that right hand underneath the towel a little bit. Yeah, there's a little bit of blood coming off that back of the right wrist.
Yeah, when a defensive lineman or linebacker's engaged with the O-line, the running back and or watch the running back here. It looks like it is the guilty party. This is Williams with a cut block with a D-line engaged.
Richie Leone will send it away. Hammers this boot through the Ottawa night sky inside the 10. McAllister back out to the 15-yard line. A 52-yard boot. As we got a fun one going back and forth. The legend Bo Levi up against the kid Dustin Crum. Canada's run in the FIFA Women's World Cup continues as they face Australia. History awaits as stars Christine Sinclair, Buchanan, and Fleming take to the pitch looking for victory. Tune in at 5 a.m. Eastern, 2 a.m. Pacific. TSN and CTV are your home for exclusive coverage all tournament long. Really looking forward to that one. And for Red Blacks fans, that's not a small abrasion on the back of Dustin Crum's right hand. Throwing hand, of course. We'll see how he adjusts. As Bo Levi Mitchell goes back to work, wide open. It's Terry Godwin cutting back at his own 40-yard line. Gets whacked.
That's what I mean about him settling in. Bo Levi Mitchell with the flick of the wrist. This is what we've seen for so many years. Those MOP type years where he steps back, short side of the field, flick of the wrist, and right between the 1 and the 7. On time, on the money.
Nice one that time for Bo. He was 1 of 5 with the interception on passes of 15 yards or more before that pass. Up those numbers. Here's Ty Loxley. Little quarterback run package coming straight at you. And the Ottawa defense extremely ready for that. We talked to some guys around the team, Glenn. They expected to see all of that when they saw Kyle Loxley on the roster coming into tonight.
Yeah, he's going to line up right at quarterback, and then basically he can throw from there too now. So that's, I'm sure Tommy Condell has that extension. And Bo Levi Mitchell, what does he do? He goes out and he says, I'm going to go play wide out. And you're just talking over there to Baltimore's. How's it going?
Two carries, 8 yards
probably
on the season for Bo.
Probably won't block you. I'm just out here hanging out.
This time he goes back to his natural office over the middle. Incomplete. Great drive that time. Coming downhill and making the play. It's the former Ticat who takes a look at the Hamilton bench on his way past. That's Carriel Brooks.
Yeah, that's just a great close. Great close on this dig route. I mean, this is a downhill out of the cannon type close. Seen Danbridge do this a couple games in a row and come up with big plays. Carriel Brooks back in the lineup.
5 years in Hamilton, a CFL All-Star in 2021. A tone setter at boundary half for the Tiger Cats. They're happy to have him here in Ottawa now. He forces the punt. Dandridge will return it back across the 30-yard line. Look at that downfield, making the tackle. Sean Thomas Erlington as Nate Bahar connecting with Dustin Crum in the Red Black success. Kenzie Lalonde has more on him when we return to Ottawa. There you see the London, Ontario native Nate Bahar really catching on here with the Red Blacks over the last couple of weeks. For more down to field level, here's Kenzie Lalonde.
Yeah, Marshall, Nate may know TD Place better than anyone. After his freshman year at Carleton U Ravens, well, he interned with the Red Blacks during their inaugural season. He joined front office to start off in his first year, where he worked with the scouting department. Jeremy Snyder, in particular, he typed up his Excel sheets. Then the following year, well, he teamed up with the equipment department. Former manager RJ James, well, teamed him up with the receivers. He put out drills, the cones, and also threw the ball sometimes. And while the receiving coach at the time was Travis Moore. And Moore Bahar is back, so the two are reunited, but Bahar no longer an intern, but a reliable receiver.
Thank you, Kenzie, as Dustin Crum goes for a jog, decides to slide down, and Richard Leonard leans over the top. No flags down on the play. They deem that Crum gave himself up too late there, Suits.
Well, they've kept the flags in their pockets for a lot of these hits that have been close. This one not as close as the one out of bounds where there was no flag, not even for the retaliation, which is a little bit surprising. But I think I just said I'm looking for more flags. I'm not. that's I'm never looking for more flags. So let the guys play.
Physical hit over the top that time from Leonard, but it is a gain of 4. Crum looking to throw, and he'll get brought down in the backfield. Can't hold on that time as he's taken 14 sacks in 2.5 games, and now a skirmish breaks out in the backfield as they separate.
Yeah, you know, Marsh, Hamilton, you've seen this kind of thing before. Hamilton is definitely trying to give him that little extra bit. Sometimes it's a little late, some are just a little bit past. Let's put it this way. Hamilton right now is playing to the echo of the whistle. And when you play to the echo of the whistle and your offensive linemen see that you're maybe taking a little bit of liberties on the quarterback, they're going to step in. This is going to escalate quickly.
2 penalties on the play. Player misconduct fouls, 15-yard penalties. Number 5, Hamilton. Number 61, Ottawa.
Well, they're
offsetting. It'll be 3rd down.
And you know, for the record, in all seriousness, I think the officials have managed this really well early on. I mean,
100%.
You know, they know that Hamilton has got a running quarterback they're trying to deal with. They're going to try and hit him every time he gets in the open field. And by the way, he doesn't have the protection of the pocket out there when it comes to the rules. And the offensive line now has to just concentrate. Don't overreact and don't retaliate.
What I love is Dave Foxcroft has officiated this like an NHL playoff game. Let them play for the first couple of times. You whack around the goalie, and then you say, you know what, guys? I gave you the first period to figure it out. Now I got to get involved.
Yeah. Managed it well so far.
It drops down to the 30-yard line. Blown backwards. Another flag down in behind the play. As we get a look at the tackle made by Gary Johnson Jr. And the sack that brought down Dustin Crum. The offense got to get going here for the Red Blacks as they trail 6-3. Glad to be back on the Amazing Race team.
Well, there'll be a thunderstorm if you do.
It'll follow me across this great nation. I apologize to anyone whose game I'm calling. For the next couple of weeks of summer football, there might be a storm nearby. Well, Levi Mitchell takes the snap in the gun. Pressure on over the middle. Bounces off the hands of Kai Loxley. They went back to him again. He's got a couple of targets, a rushing attempt. Can't hang on to that one.
Yeah, he's a great athlete, but he hasn't done this for a bit now. I mean, he was a backup and third-string quarterback in Edmonton. Played a little bit last year at receiver. Caught a few passes there, but should have had that one.
Bo's got 11 completions, 7 different receivers. He's used Garan Gauthier, the fullback. He's gone to a guy who's listed as a third-string quarterback for a completion as well, to Loxley. See what he does here on 2nd and 10. Fades to his left away from the pressure. Finds Terry Godwin churning in his legs down the sideline. And it will be a first down as Godwin pops up onto his feet after a gain of 18.
You do a lot of radio in the country, across the country throughout the week. I do as well. And QR77 in Calgary's Jock has given me a heads up that Bo Levi Mitchell is not wearing a throwing glove that he started the game with. And that's an adjustment that the veteran has suddenly made. He always was throwing with that glove, and it's been more accurate without it.
Goes left to right this time, holds onto the rock too long, and down goes Mitchell. That's Bryce Carter getting home for his 5th sack of the season.
Working on Brandon Kemp up top, and it's going to be a bit of a bull rush. He pushes him back and then slides underneath. A little push there and then comes right underneath. And good active hands keeping Kemp off him. That's what they do when they brush their chest, is saying, yeah, you can't touch me, man.
Red Blacks getting a sack on nearly 10% of opponent dropbacks. That's second best in the CFL. Their pass rush has been great. The rain's starting to fall once again here at TD Place. Bo Levi Mitchell without that throwing hand glove. Steps up, throws down the middle of the field. It's almost intercepted. Carriel Brooks should have had it as Mitchell went into triple coverage.
I was going to say, this is it. You know, glove or no glove, this was a decision. And the decision wasn't a good one because Duke Williams is the front of this 3 receivers into the boundary, and he's just going to run this seam route. But you're right, there are Ottawa defenders. Look at all 3 of them just going. Again, 2 Hamilton receivers in the same place. That brings coverage into the football, and they really should have had the pick there. That was just a poor decision by the veteran.
Well, in and up from Duke Williams. Maybe a square peg round hole, trying to fit that home run shot in. On second and long, falls to the turf, incomplete. They can still flip the field with the punting game. Billy Flint, end over end. He'll take a big hop. Dandridge picks it up back at his own 23-yard line. Makes the first man miss. Then the Tiger Cats are there to finish it off, as Bailey Feltmate will get the special teams tackle. As there you see Dustin Crum, and quarterback rushing leaders this season. He's only played 2.5 games, and look at him way out in front.
Yeah, in fact, in one of the weeks that he has been a starter, and there's been 2 of them, and then he took over in the Hamilton game, that 3rd one, so 2.5 weeks. But one of those weeks, he was the leading rusher in the entire league, including tailbacks. But clearly, among quarterbacks, is the leading rusher quickly. However, Hamilton has contained him nicely so far tonight.
Conversation between the 2 teams' benches after that special teams exchange. They'll separate themselves. Dave Foxcroft whistles it in. Shaq Evans in motion to the bottom of your screen. Crum looks run, now flips it out. Justin Hardy makes the grab and popped out of bounds right there by Kenneth George Jr.
You know, but I think what's been interesting for Dustin Crum, we've talked a lot about his running, and he's been great at it, but he's a smart guy, and he had to throw to win in Calgary for the 2-point convert to Nate Bahar, and almost take advantage of the defensive technique that he was faced, so he can evolve as the game goes on. He's a aeronautical engineer major.
Same, yeah.
Yeah, that's a rocket scientist, isn't it?
He'll pull it this time. Doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out. That was a good read on Jameer Thurman. But he is brought down short of the first down marker. I loved what Orlando Steinauer said this week about him. Said the quarterbacks, the young ones that survive in this league, what do they survive? Injuries and game plans. Right now, Crum's up against it with the game plan.
Yeah, now they've got to try to evolve. It's pawn to king 4, king to rook 7, and let's continue. And now ball security becomes more important when you see that downpour.
Thankfully, no lightning in the area, but certainly the sky's opening up once again as Tyreek McAllister stands back, staring down Richie Leone. And it is really coming down out of nowhere. Leone kicks what's got to be a 10-pound football at this point. Drops down with a flag down. Likely no yards around. And we have hit the 3-minute warning in an entertaining 6-3 first half. Get the ponchos out. Where's the poncho?
Well, it's raining in Ottawa. It's still spectacular here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. I feel like I'm really rubbing that in this evening, but we've got all your breakdown of the first half. Good, bad, bow, good bow. We're going to show you it all coming up right after this.
Thank you, Kate. At this point, we might be able to take a boat straight up the Rideau all the way out to St. Lawrence and come visit you tomorrow for Touchdown Atlantic.
Nightcap.
Mitchell on 1st and 10 inside the 3-minute warning, hands it off. Butler, tackle for loss. Well done that time. Frankie Griffin, he is a specialist at bringing down ball carriers in the backfield, gets another.
Yeah, playing the run on 1st down. They brought Tim White in. try and get some protection help. Duke Williams as well on a kick-out block, and Duke got his man. It was Lorenzo Malden that crashed down. Shooting through that gap.
Last 9 drives have all resulted in punts. Tiger Cats trying to prevent that here from moving to 10. McAllister splits out to the left. Mitchell looks to throw. Pressure on. Over the middle. Duke Williams. Hop steps. And that's a heck of a matchup, Suits, we're starting to see develop as we head into the second half. Duke Williams against Carriel Brooks.
Yeah, Carriel Brooks didn't start the game, but he is getting a lot of playing time now, and this is just basically a loose man as they pick up once they declare in that 3 receiver side into the boundary, and Duke Williams becomes the seam guy. Carriel Brooks shoots it. What a new set of downs for Bo Levi Mitchell.
Duke came in averaging 16 yards per catch. Gets 15 that time and moves the chains. Mitchell with the pressure on, steps forward, floats it underneath. Tim White will get wrapped up after a gain of a couple.
Loxley to the wide field there, and getting a last 3 series we've seen Kai Loxley in the offensive lineup. We're promised a little to Tyreek McAllister as well. I'm looking forward to that. I think any football fan would.
And to be honest, we were also promised a little bit of Taylor Powell, and even after the early interception, haven't seen any of that. Bullpen has not been warmed up whatsoever on the Tiger Cats sideline. Bo Levi on 2nd and 7 looks out to that short side, complete. Terry Godwin catches it, casually steps out of bounds.
This is not a game. This is reality. You miss the line and you could die.
Gran Turismo, only Peters.
Was it the Nürburgring? What was that? Great F1 race coming up for you in Belgium tomorrow. Spa-Francorchamps, looking forward to that one. Right here on TSN, as the Tiger Cats looking to punctuate this first half in their 6-3 lead with more points. Yeah, look for the quick screen, get it out to McAllister. They scored against Ottawa with this play back in week 5, and McAllister nearly took it to the house again.
This was the exact play, and it was well blocked up. He's in the quads, so 4 receivers to the short side of the field, 3 receivers up front just to block. Duke Williams gets his, a little kick out inside, and then a little block down for the inside pursuit, and McAllister down the sideline. It was a 60, I believe, 65-yarder for a touchdown against Ottawa. Saw that great speed, pushed out of bounds there.
Douglas Coleman there to save the day for Ottawa. 1 minute remaining. Lots of motion here late from the Tiger Cats as they're confused on their lineup. Lots of moving pieces. Blitz is on, and a flag comes up. It'll be a time count. And back the Tiger Cats offense up.
Yeah, Marsh, you nailed it.
Time count violation. Hamilton, number 19. The penalty is loss of down. 2nd down.
You know, that's the downside of really changing up your lineup and putting new guys in there like Loxley and McAllister, who's been a great returner and played a little bit of offense, as we mentioned that Ottawa game, but occasionally you get one guy lined up in the wrong place. That's not going to happen, and the play isn't going to work, and Bo was trying to get him organized.
Bo Levi Mitchell's return. He's on pace for nearly 50 passing attempts here in Ottawa tonight. Letting them zip it around. As again, he communicates, tells Kai Loxley to get on the line of scrimmage, acquired just a few short weeks ago. Pressure look once again from Ottawa. They bring it, Bo fakes to his right, throws it to the end zone, incomplete. And Ottawa's defense forces the issue on 2nd down after the time count.
After that play, Marsh, Kai Loxley kind of patted himself on the head. I'm not sure if he didn't run the wrong route. And it was Loxley and McAllister that looked like they may have had a little bit of issue trying to sort things out. Well, now he's pointing to himself going off the field. He was on a crosser going away from the roll. basically not an option for Mitchell, rolling out to his right, and he was way off to the left side on a crossing route.
A lot being thrown at number 89 as out comes Mark Leggio. Missed the extra point earlier. He hasn't missed any field goals so far this season. 15 for 15 as Bailey Flint gets it down. And he's still perfect on the year after being acquired after getting let go by Winnipeg.
So they got lobster out there. They've got lobster under the desk.
I didn't know garlic fingers were a thing. Kenzie said that earlier on. Kenzie's giving me the thumbs up from down the field. Garlic fingers are an East Coast thing? I knew the lobster. I know about the donair. I know they got all the good stuff out there. Maybe she found a little bit of lobster here in Ottawa. Kenzie, garlic fingers are a thing on the East Coast?
It's all about the garlic fingers, Marshall, and specifically honey garlic fingers. I recommend the panel orders them immediately. They'll change everything.
I was just in Nova Scotia for a week. I didn't have a single garlic finger.
I had some lobster rolls when we were up there last year, I'll tell you that.
Dustin Crum. Pressure on. Up high. Carney got him. And a sack once again from Malik Carney. Came in with 3.
Yeah, Malik Carney's had a big first half. You know, he's done a nice job in containing Crum. He's asked to spy a couple of times. There's a spin move with 3-man pressure, and getting home with 3-man pressure, you should have a lot more time than that. But he made it into a one-on-one off the edge, and a great spin move got there. Good half for number 5 tonight.
See the Ticats in prevent defense here on 2nd and 15 with 30 seconds remaining. And again, the pressure comes from behind. Add it to the tally. There's number 5 with another.
Well, I tell you what, he's again 3-man pressure. He turns into sort of 4 because there's a trailer. But look at the 3 men. They're not hiding anything, giving a lot of room so they can't get beat deep on the last play of the half kind of scenario. But this time he went spin move inside. This time he rips that right arm through and goes around the horn to get there for back-to-back sacks.
Hamilton just called timeout as well with 26 seconds left. Why wouldn't you? You just ended up getting some points on the board. You get back-to-back sacks. Now you get the football back, and maybe they can turn it into something more.
And Malik McAllister back as your punt returner. That's automatic field position.
We'll see what McAllister can do here as Richie Leone plans his attack. Hamilton sends some pressure. Leone gets it away cleanly. Drops down to McAllister at his own 30. And Alonzo Adai, great special teams tackle downfield as the gunner on a 51-yard punt.
Well, there's time. I mean, he took the glove off. I mean, he's done that before when it's been a little bit wet, but he took the glove off and has been more accurate. But we've seen some errant throws as well. The return of Bo Levi Mitchell to the starting lineup, but there's no question Coach Steinauer's mind who the #1 quarterback is. That's why they brought him in. He's their guy. He's their best chance to win. They also have the injury situation to deal with. But it was like, as long as he is healthy, Bo Levi Mitchell is playing.
They recreated the movement that caused the injury back in week 2 a lot before he got here. They'll empty it out. 6 wide for Bo. Looks down the middle of the field. It's Butler on a seam route, and it's intercepted. Abdul Kenna brings it across midfield. A big block springs him down the sideline, and he's driven out into the Tiger Cats bench.
Abdul Kenna is a veteran, and he baited this throw. It's been a couple of times now that Bo Levi Mitchell has tried to go down this seam. It's been a couple to Duke. Looked like it was James Butler going down that seam this time, but Kenna just baited him. Made it look like he was open, and then with the ball in the air, snatched it and cut underneath.
Tim White and Duke Williams right there to finish it off at the end of the play. 20th career interception for Abdul Kenna, 18th here in Ottawa, as he spent some time with Hamilton as well. And we just talked about, well, maybe Hamilton can take the momentum and turn it into something. Hello, Ottawa.
That's the final 3 minutes of Canadian football, either in the final 3 of the first half or the final 3 of the game.
As they will send out Lewis Ward.
By the way, 10 of the last 12 games coming into this week decided in the final 3 minutes.
They'll set down the kicking tee at the 40-yard line for Ward. 95% on the season. Hammers this one, low line drive. And out of thin air, it's 3 more points on the board for the Ottawa REDBLACKS, as very reminiscent of the way that Ottawa has been able to flip the script the last couple of weeks, in moments where you think that there's no chance they can create any sort of enthusiasm. They got a couple of big plays.
A good game plan defensively to try and contain the running of Dustin Crum in this first half. And I thought Malik Carney had a huge first half, couple sacks, but he's also done a nice job on containment, trying to chase him down. We saw early on he was spying.
He has mixed it up. He is standing at field level with Kenzie Lalonde.
I think we've been able to certainly contain Dustin Crum here tonight. He's sitting at around 60 rushing yards in particular. How pleased are you with this effort?
I already knew what we was going to come out with. You know, we've been working hard all week. Continued effort. We know that he likes to get vertical, put his foot in the ground and run. So we're just doing our best so we can contain him and do our job. 2
sacks for you. So what are you seeing?
I'm seeing another 30 minutes of the game. So just continue to keep my head straight and keep balling.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Kate, I'll send things back over to you and the panel in lovely Halifax.
Yeah.
And once again at St. Mary's University, beautiful Huskies Stadium, getting ready. The eve of the Toronto Argonauts taking on the Saskatchewan Roughriders for the 6th installment of Touchdown Atlantic, the 2nd regular season game being played here on the East Coast. An absolutely gorgeous view and an absolutely gorgeous night in Halifax, Nova Scotia. Once again, sorry to everyone in Ottawa this evening. Back alongside David Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt Steele, in a fascinating first half between these Tiger Cats and the REDBLACKS. The story coming in was the return of Bo Levi Mitchell. He got a couple series. It was a weather delay, and then back on the field. We've seen really good things from Bo in this first half. I mean, he's got 215 yards in this football game. But then on the flip side, the mistake that just happened at the end of the half, which albeit I think you guys can debate that whose fault that was, but good Bo, bad Bo.
There's no way, if you look at the stats, this game should be 9-6.
No.
Talk about Bo, and he's dominating. Ottawa's defense is, Hamilton's defense is crumbling Crum, but then Bo Levi is once again finding himself in positions to give the opposite team an opportunity to stay in this game. And as we mentioned, Bo, you know, he's coming back after missing 4 games. I know he wants to come in and make a difference, and he is, but then he has some opportunities where he's making some mistakes, and you can't do this. We know Crum and this Ottawa offense in this second half, they're going to come back and they're going to make some changes and they're going to adjust. So Bo just has to stick in the game and continue playing well, and when those mistakes have to be eliminated. Otherwise, it's going to be tough in the second half.
He's got 215 yards. He should have 415 yards right now. There's guys wide open all over the field. So Tommy Condell is calling a good game. Bo, for the most part, is finding open receivers. I mean, he's thrown some passes that he shouldn't try, but for the most part, he's finding open receivers. But he's just not throwing the ball accurately. He's throwing it high, he's throwing it late. On that one there, and Matt pointed it out, you saw on the sideline, he'd point to like a receiver wasn't going for the ball, he was waiting for it. And he does right there. You see, if that ball's underthrown, but the receiver can still, when he sees it underthrown, get your body in front of that DB. If your quarterback is not accurate right now and he's struggling a bit, help him out by going and putting your body in front of it. So, look, it's shocking to see. I never played quarterback, but the good quarterbacks I've been around, the great ones I've been around, like Bo, they make most of these throws.
Yeah, Davis, I agree with your assessment there. But 3 throws. He should have had 3 picks in the first half. There was one that was dropped. He threw into double coverage as well. But he's been good on second and long situations. 8 of 13 in second and long situations. That's the difference in this football game, a 3-point difference. And it'd be a lot worse if Bo hadn't made a couple of bad errors. But I can tell you about Crum. he's not having the same success because Hamilton defense is forcing a lot of second and longs, and this would typically be a first down run for him. But when you got 2nd and 10, they're coming up and playing that, and they're punting the football. This is continuous. He was 1 of 6 in second and long situations, and to me, this is a nice ad lib by him, but it doesn't get it done because it's 2nd and long. And to me, Hamilton's playing this perfectly. You know, Davis, I know you wanted to talk about the spy in the first part of the ball game. We hear Suits talking about 007, doing a nice job of mixing it up. But this kid's a player, and they're going to figure it out, and he's going to hurt you with those legs sooner or later. And Bo keeps turning it over.
And Matty,
man, Ottawa's a scary football team.
Hardy and Bahar in the slots. If you're going to spy, then those guys should be open. Wear those 2 slots out. Right?
The great part of the Red Blacks, too, not that we expected every single game, they do make great adjustments in the second half. We've watched the last 2 games. We'll see what happens in this one. Currently down by 3 in the nation's capital.
After a day of rain, hail, wind, and more in the nation's capital, it feels a little apocalyptic around here. Well, why wouldn't it, Glenn Suter, as the suddenly surging Red Blacks return to TD Place? Don't get home, he misses! Slips high, it's intercepted!
But he just flat out overthrows him.
Jump ball! Touchdown, Tiger Cats!
It's a big receiver, big, strong receiver. Rain's no problem. Snow, sleet, all that stuff.
We love that stuff.
We can play in all of that.
Doubleheader Saturday officially upon us. First up, it is the Rough Riders taking on the Toronto Argonauts from beautiful Huskies Field at St. Mary's University. You can see it 7 Eastern, 1 Pacific. And then it has been 1,386 days since the Elks last won a home game. Will it finally happen tomorrow? Will we finally stop talking about it? 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific, the Lions and the Elks wrapping up doubleheader Saturday. But let's go back to the Argos and the Rough Riders here. Riders getting a few guys back, which is great for them because they've been plagued by injury. Argos are perfect on the season. What are you looking for, Ches?
Yeah, I'm looking to see what Sask offensively is going to try to do. Where are they going to find the offense from? They're playing against a Toronto defense that they're big, they're long, and they have a whole lot of playmakers back there. So for me, some guys are really going to have to make some plays on offense. They're getting some guys back. Those guys are going to have to find some plays out there.
Davis, do you know if their team's going to be on the same sideline again? Like they're, yeah, it looks like they are. It looks like they are. So I hope there's a lot of security here because I think it's going to be a heated battle like we saw last year. I really do.
For us or for them?
Well, it could be. We'll be out there. We'll be right in the middle of it. But I look at this matchup and, boy, it's going to be smash-mouth football, I think. And, yes, Saskatchewan's getting healthy. Winnicke's coming back. You've got Lindius coming back. Aimless is there with Tevon Jones and Bain. And Morrow, I would like to be in that huddle. I mean, that's a decent huddle to work with right there. A lot of playmakers. But we know what Toronto's got. They're loaded. But I think this comes down to defense and who can create as much havoc as possible. And I'm going to give the advantage to Toronto because of the young quarterback and Mason Fine for Saskatchewan. I just think that it's going to be a hard battle, Milt.
You talk about defense, the Saskatchewan, they're happy to get Lanier back. And they're going to need it along that defensive line because they're playing against the best quarterback in the league right now, and Chad Kelly.
Oh, you said his name. I was going to say, we had a whole segment without saying his name.
What you trying to say? I just jock him all the time, Chad?
We're
going to talk about this afterwards, Chad. Stay out of my business, man. I like the way he plays, son. Your family's in town. I'm embarrassed in front of your family.
Milt, you need food.
To the point, Jason Shivers and that defense did a great job, and they'll have to be big again.
Yeah,
no doubt about
definitely.
it.
Poor Milt didn't even get his point across. Ran out of time. And you know what? Sorry, boys. You got to stop your thoughts because we're going to commercial. Coming up next, it's going to be Stats with the angry Milt Stegall. Stats with Milt Stegall, the hangry beagle.
Todd asks, what can turnovers do for you? Well, turnovers can keep the opposing team in the game. You see how much Hamilton's dominated this game, but those 2 turnovers, it's only 9-6. And we know Crum, what he can do in the second half.
We'll see what Crum has in store for the fourth quarter and potentially OT. Did I jinx it by saying it?
Don't call it a Crum back.
Don't call it a Crum back. We'll get you back to Ottawa for second half action between the Ticats and the Red Blacks right after this.
It is only a 9-6 football game, but we got a fun one cooking here in the nation's capital as the Tiger Cats hold a slim lead on defense. The man returning for the Ottawa Redblacks tonight, here is Jovan Santos Knox at field level with Kenzie Lalaw.
On your first game here of the season with the Redblacks, it happens to be against your former team, the Ticats. How are you settling in?
I'm good, you know, just trying to find my rhythm out there. You know, we're playing hard. We just got to finish.
We've seen Bo throw a deep ball. We've seen him use a lot of receivers. How is your game plan adjusted here defensively as this game's going on?
We just got to do our job. When we do our job, we take care of business and we make plays. So I think it's just doing our job and settling in.
That pick by Abdul kind of a little momentum for you guys as you enter the second half?
For sure. We preach takeaways, and that's what he did. He made a big play at the end of the half. Got us 3 before, so it's a big play.
Thank you, Javon. Good luck.
Thank you.
Turnover ratio coming into this one, the Hamilton Tiger Cats -5. That is 8th out of the 9 teams in the Canadian Football League. Bo Levi Mitchell in that first half threw a couple more, his 5th and 6th of the season. As Mark Leggio has this one on the tee, kicks it away. Hamilton won the toss, took the football to start the first half. Ottawa gets it to start the second. As it is Brandon Dandridge crossing the 35-yard line, being wrapped up, and out comes Dustin Crum. Got banged up a little bit, and some pressure on him, especially Malik Carney. Suits all over him.
Well, based on his first 2.5 games, you know that the Hamilton Tiger Cats were going to be ready for him to try and escape and run, and they had a couple of different schemes lined up. Carney had a very good first half, trying to keep contained. They made sure they played to the echo of the whistle, so if he did take off, he was taking some hits. And to get a little work done on a passing hand on the sideline throughout that first half.
We'll begin here. Fake on the run, slides his way to the left, throws a dart to Justin Hardy. Look at the hands on Hardy, holding on to that one just across. Actually, they'll spot it up around the 48-yard line, as that's a nice chunk for the Redblacks on first down.
Yeah, Tunde Adeleke was giving him a push in the back, so exactly what it was, Marsh, just a real strong hands to squeeze that while your momentum is going the opposite direction.
On the season so far, the Hamilton Tiger Cats +19 in third quarters. The Redblacks -18. Will they be able to flip that trend here? They'll go short yardage on 2nd and 1. Tyrell Pigram coming in and diving over the top of the pile. They'll pick up the first down as Crum returns.
Well, getting a chance to look at young quarterbacks taking advantage of their opportunities. That's what Dustin Crum's done, and one day it'll be Tyrell Pigram's turn, and I'm looking forward to seeing that after his preseason.
Looked great for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the preseason when there was multiple injuries here in Ottawa. Sean Burke, the general manager of the Redblacks, gave him a call. Extra offensive lineman in here, Hunter Stewart. They add some beef up front. Crum shows run, gives it, and it's Carney. Tackle for loss in the backfield again.
Carney is having himself a game. Comes into this game with 3 sacks. He's got 2 tonight, but it's not just the sacks. It's not just those glory numbers. I mean, just sneaking underneath the block to cut off that run while maintaining contained. If Crum still had the ball, he could redirect and still turn him inside. He's having himself a big game.
Zach Pelios, the former 2nd overall pick of the Redblacks, trying to contain Carney here as Crum takes a shot over the middle. Jr. was intended for Shaq Evans, but the Tiger Cats have it as George Jr. goes down at the 35-yard line.
Well, Davis Sanchez talked about it at halftime. The receivers got to help out their quarterback in that one.
George Jr. could have had a big return. Ottawa lucky it didn't go for more. Tiger Cats have the rock.
Intended target here is Shaq Evans, and again, this is his first game back. He's running the seam route, and George is going to just run with him, basically running the route. So it's kind of twofold. Stop it here. First of all, if Crum throws it into the middle and lets Shaq go get it, he's got a chance. But he throws it up, and Shaq Evans doesn't put the brakes on and come back and try to help him with the jump ball on the underthrown pass.
Well, Levi Mitchell begins through the air, gets it out to Duke Williams. Coming into tonight, Dustin Crum was 2 of 5 on those passes of 20-plus yards. Now he's 0 of 2 on the night with an interception as well. They really haven't opened up the playbook for him, and the result is Kenneth George Jr. taking advantage.
Yeah, take another look. I mean, Crum takes part of the responsibility, because if he leads him to the middle here, then Shaq Evans can go and just run it down. But Evans also has to help. I think Davis Sanchez talked about it at halftime. Like, the receivers got to stop, put the brakes on, come back. It's underthrown ball. Go get it. Fight for it.
The Duke Williams gain of 6. Tiger Cats looking to convert on 2nd down once again. Mitchell works his way through the progression, now spins out to his left, resets, fades away. This one high, intended for Felix Grongoche. As right there is Frankie Griffin to knock it away, but that's really the first time we've seen Bo have to leave the pocket, Suits, and try to replant off of that injury.
Yeah, that's a coverage coverage play where the back end for Ottawa basically locked down the receiving core. And Bo had to spin out and then go to his fullback on a crossing route, and Griffin cut that off.
Thought he was going to do the full round off coming out of that one. Well, back handspring action from Frankie Griffin. Fantastic find for the Red Blacks defense. As this one partially blocked, or got real close to it. The Red Blacks pick it up down the sideline. Goes Dandridge. Jumps over the top. Ball is out at the end. I think he was down before the ball came out. The acrobatics of Dandridge, as you see Antti Milinovic-Litre, 2 touchdowns on the season, scrapping away on special teams. Marco Dubois right there in the middle of the fray as well. There's Bob Dice.
Lots going on this play. Almost blocked, first of all. And I'm not sure if the Red Black rush got a little piece of it. Around the edge there, and was that partially blocked? Just missed it, looked like. And then Dandridge at the other end. It's just a matter of time before he makes an impact on this game.
Almost got a hand on it.
Let's see if this was an actual fumble. He's hit. I think his forearm hit the turf, and that's what popped the ball out. That would be down by contact anyway. But it looked like Ottawa recovered.
You and I love this game so much. We're sitting here at 9-6. This could not be a more CFL 9-6 game. We've got acrobatics and DBs jumping over guys, jump balls in the back of the end zone.
DB's baiting for interceptions, and you know, I just and the special teams aren't done. When you have Tyreek McAllister and Danbridge, settle in.
Plenty of threats on specials. This offense for the Red Blacks, they'd like to get some positive momentum. Trump will hand it off on 1st down. Haven't seen Devontae Williams much as he lunges forward for a Red Blacks 1st down to the 50.
Yeah, for Kahari Jones, that might be the answer, Devontae Williams, because with all the focus on 18 and what he's doing, and can you keep him in the pocket? Can Malik Carney's been tracking him down all over the place? So has Jameer Thurman. 31 could be the answer for the Red Blacks offensively.
Missed 3 games this season. Was the week 1 starter. Happy to have him back, moving bodies up front. They go back inside. Hamilton all over it that time. It's Carney and Casey Sales finishing the play.
Yeah, see, Carney folded in there, but he hesitated just long enough, and now, you know, he starts to dictate a little bit in this cat and mouse game between quarterback and that ride and decide play. Because this time he gave it quickly to Williams in the middle, and Carney crashed down and made the tackle.
Yeah, defensive coordinator with the finger tape on. You know he's here for business.
Yeah, locked in.
Love Mark Washington down there calling it into his defense. Jameer Thurman at middle linebacker relaying the signals to the other 11 men. Trump looks to his right, zips this one out, incomplete. Fairly similar out route to the one that was caught for the 2-point in Calgary by Nate Bahar. That one falls to the turf, and the punting unit comes out.
Yeah, you think the O-line is finally saying, okay, look, number 5 is he's causing problems, so we gotta try to take care of him, and look, little double team over there on Malik Carney.
Lewis Ward, 2 for 2 on the night in this one. They're going to line it up all the way back at about 54 yards, it looks like. From this depth on the season, he is 1 of 1. His long on the year is 50. This would be a new season high for Ward. He's got the distance. Wow. That would have been good from nearly 60. Ward, who was protected from a lot of those deep kicks during his incredible consecutive field goal streak. They take the risk this time. Would have been a big flip in field position. No worries. Knocks it through. We got a tie ball game. Legends being honored here tonight in Ottawa. The 50th anniversary of the 1973 Ottawa Rough Riders Championship squad. There's Jerry Organ.
33 was Dickie Adams, and there is Rick Casada, the quarterback of that football team. Also former BC Lion. But Grey Cup 61. Ottawa Rough Riders, led by Casada. I'll tell you what, Dickie Adams, one of the great influences in my life, a DB coach in Saskatchewan for years. We had many heart-to-hearts.
2 great moves there by Duke Williams as he picks up the first down. He had touchdowns by Rome Nixon and Jim Evanson. And that highlight pack from 73 as well, as you get a look at the trophy going up high. Man, that thing looks a little bit smaller than a lot of modern-day fans might remember.
A few years added to it, yeah.
What an era, though. 68-69. Russ Jackson says goodbye. Casada, 73. Leading the Grey Cup champs right here in Ottawa. Great to have CFL football in Ottawa. Great to have the fans stick it out during the lightning delay here. As we've got a 9-9 football game midway through the third. Levi Mitchell rolls right into pressure, fades it up over the top, and Tim White jumps over the top of Alonzo Adai to go get it. A desperation catch from number 12.
Alonzo Adai, he thought about it. He thought about cutting under because pressure's on Bo Levi Mitchell here, so he got to get rid of it. And he thought about cutting under and then changed his mind at the end. He cuts under that, he's still running.
Long way to go for Adai. Been good stepping in for the injured Justin Howell at free safety. 2nd down and 4. Mitchell low and away. And is it a catch? Both officials looking at each other. They nod, and they'll give Terry Godwin the grab.
I haven't seen a lot of this matchup. Godwin against Danbridge, of course. Danbridge, a couple of big plays in the last 2 games. He got the comeback started in the Winnipeg game down by 16 with a pick for a touchdown, and then big play against Calgary.
Mitchell takes a look to his right. Sees a 3-pack of receivers. That includes Kyle Loxley. Flips it underneath on the crossing route. Like he was trying to get it to Tim White, and Javon Santos knocks the middle linebacker, says, I know what you guys are up to.
Yeah, they're still working on some of these new formations, clearly, because again, there's 2 receivers there a little too close together. That's happened 3 or 4 times tonight. You can see crossers over and unders, but there's usually about 10 to 15 yards of separation between the 2.
Loxley checks out of the football game. You see him there. Tyreek McAllister comes back in, averaging 26 yards per catch. On the season coming in, just 4 grabs to his name coming in, but he's up that tally again here tonight. And a big screen grab. Big Duke Williams to the line of scrimmage. Mitchell, pressure, throws it away at the feet of James Butler.
Douglas Coleman was the difference maker here. He took McAllister out of the backfield. Well, not the backfield, basically the slot to the field, but he took McAllister and covered him down really well. He's out here to the left of your screen, and that's kind of where Bo Levi Mitchell's looking over there. He wants 35. He sees him well covered, and he bails on it. And then it's just throw it into the turf and live to play another down.
Ottawa gets the deep field goal. Hamilton moves it up to midfield and has to kick it away. Backward spiraling boot. Kicks back. Rolled forward. It'll be no yards as Dandridge trying to win the race to the edge. And a great special teams tackle in the open field. Javian Elliott, the CFL free agency addition out of Calgary, tracked down Dandridge.
That's a big play.
Elliott feeling it a little bit. Orlando Steinauer looking on. Dandridge makes his way to the sideline.
Boy, that's a big play by Javian Elliott to get all the way down on the outside here. Look at number 7. Okay, stop it right there. I mean, he is now in between the numbers and the sideline at the wide side of the field. Now, Dandridge can run. He can get the corner, and Elliott passes 5 of his teammates to cut him off. That's a big special teams tackler. He might have been around that corner and gone.
Dustin Crum. The Red Blacks offense deep in their own end, but he gets a completion here to Shaq Evans. Catches it at the 40. Hikes forward for another 4 yards after the catch.
Put everybody else to the field. Get one-on-one with Shaq Evans. Got to get him involved. I mean, this is a guy who had a 1,300-yard season. I mean, Shaq Evans of old is in there somewhere. Maybe that gets him going.
Looks run, throws a slant to the outside. There's Bahar. Haven't said his name much as he lunges the football forward for, again, as he gets up and talks a little bit to Richard Leonard.
Yeah, not a lot of sustained drives, so we haven't talked a lot about Jalen Acklin or Nate Bahar and just what a great combination he and Crum have been throughout the last couple of games.
Or goes to the sideline, catching his wind a little bit after the hit. And a heavy package in here for the Red Blacks on 2nd and 2. Late substitutions from Hamilton to match it. Strum gives it right downhill. Milanovic lead track. And he needs to get to the 54. I don't think he did, Suits.
Be very close. It looked like, you know, and the refs will call in whether or not they're going to measure this. Fans want him to go. They're bringing in Terrell Pigram, short yardage quarterback. Yeah, this is a full yard.
Decided not to earlier, but they will go here. Coming into tonight, Ottawa was 5 of 6 on 3rd and short situations, trying to keep the drive alive. Line of scrimmage stacked. Big Teddy Laurent right in the middle of the fray. Pigram goes to the right, leans forward. It'll depend on the spot. Looks from here in the booth, right above the 55 at TD Place, that he got it. And he did.
Yeah, they're putting it down right on the 55-yard line. If you're watching somewhere in the U.S., yes, we have a 55-yard line.
And it's painted red here in Ottawa, which we love. Nice job by Pigram to pick that one up. I'm not sure he would have got it if he went right at Ted Laurent.
No. Ted Laurent had a good push.
John fakes the run. Pressure on, and he'll go down. Flying in off the back edge that time. It's Trey Crawford. First year at a UAB.
Part of the rotation, Crawford up here in that 2-point track stance, giving Malik Carney a bit of a rest. And he cuts on an inside move. He's got contain help from the defensive tackle, so he doesn't have to worry about that. And he goes on an inside move. The Ottawa O-line cannot pick it up.
It's his 2nd of the night, and it's a 9-yard loss. 2nd and 19, not a down in distance. Kahari Jones, the Red Blacks offensive coordinator, wants to be in with Dustin Crum right now. Try to throw into it, holds onto it. Carney's trying to track him down. Now Crum will go for a run. Nick Cross at a UBC pulls him down from behind after Crum goes for about a 40-yard run to pick up 12 yards.
Close quickly. They're going on 2nd and long, or sometimes 2nd and 10. Mark Washington is calling 3-man pressure because he's already seen Malik Carney get there in 2 sacks at 3-man pressure. Almost got there again. He just went a little bit too far wide. I'm going to punt this out. A little bit of a A little bit too far for Ward on this one. now we're getting silly.
Hammered that last one through from 54, but they'll keep him on the sidelines and send out his buddy Richie Leone here with a nice spiraling boot.
Wow.
Oh, gets out the pitching wedge and sits that one right down at the 5-yard line. A 46-yard punt and his second kick inside the 10-yard line of the season for Richie Leone. Well, Brandon Dandridge had himself a breakout season in 2021. He started his career with an interception in 3 straight games. He's got 2 interception returns the last 2 games. For more, let's go down to Kenzie Lalonde.
And that play against Calgary was a result of purely film study. I was talking to Bob Dice yesterday about that play in particular, and he wasn't surprised at all. Brandon is a quiet player, but he studies film like no one else. He knew the Stampeder system. All he had to do was jump on the route and make the play. And this goes back to his days in college at Missouri Western in 2018. He's led his team in interceptions and the conference in passes defended. So he's coming in tonight, 3 touchdowns, 2 for a pick 6. Guys, he's continuing to be an impact player, whether he's a cornerback or even here on special teams.
Brandon Dandridge, 3 touchdowns on the season, 1 on a big punt return here earlier this season at home. Back-to-back pick 6s. He's tied for the team lead in scores with Dustin Crump.
Love it. Playing with great confidence.
Levi Mitchell hands it off to Butler. Big hit off the corner here. Double duty as well. Starting boundary corner tonight is Dandridge. The last time these teams played in week 5, he was over on the other side at field corner, but he's doing a little bit of everything right now, and special teams is a big part of it.
Yeah, and lots of ways to score in Canadian football, and he's taking full advantage of it. You know, that interception against Calgary, the film study, as Kenzie mentioned, big time part of that, but he didn't get out of his back pedal. He sat on that route. You have to have confidence in a one-on-one matchup to not backpedal, shuffle your feet 3 times, and then jump the route the way he did. You actually know what's coming, and you have to have great confidence that they didn't change it up on you, and you can make it up with your great speed.
Remember when he signed back.
57. That penalty's declined. It'll be 2nd down.
Second down, the crowd gets into it here with Hamilton backed up, but remember when Dandridge signed back in Ottawa, the Toronto Argonauts went after him last season at the end of the year. He settled in nicely. See if he helps get a stop here on 2nd and 10.
Big play.
Tie ball game. Mitchell looking to throw from his end zone. Rolls to the left, flips it into the waiting arms of Kyle Loxley, who was somehow crossing in the perfect place. I thought Bo was throwing that one away, Suits.
Well, he's rolling to his left, and, you know, he is a pocket guy. We've seen many times. He throws with great accuracy from the pocket throughout his career. Not so much rolling to his left, throwing back against the flow, and Loxley with a little flick coming across the field picks it up. And, again, a gutsy throw from Bo Levi Mitchell down there on your own 5-yard line.
Try that when you're playing with your kids in the backyard tomorrow afternoon. See how your elbow feels the next day. 8th different receiver to catch a pass from Bo tonight. Now he looks down the middle of the field. Skinny, and it's incomplete. Godwin nearly hauled it in for a big score, and who's there? Who else?
Yeah, he catch-up speed. Brandon Dandridge, again with confidence. He is okay with a receiver getting a jump on him and maybe even starting to pull away early because he's confident in his speed. Look at 37. He's just looking at the ball. He's tracking it. Now he knows, oh, I'm a little bit behind. Redirects, takes that extra step, and just gets his hand on it.
Incredible wreck between those two. Both threw him skinny. He was trying to lead him up the field in a way, and Dandridge just changed his angle perfectly. Leaves 2nd and 10 after the 10th pass attempt of 15+ yards for Mitchell. This time he looks underneath. McAllister catches it and will get the 1st down. Dancing away, fighting through arm tackles, the undersized slot back and return man.
Zone look this time from Ottawa, and they, in a zone look, you throw it underneath and hope your tailback, or in this case McAllister, your slot back, can pick it up on his own.
There you see Baron Miles digging in with this defense. Least penalized defense in the CFL with just 11 coming into tonight. Wants to get off the field on second down, though. Tiger Cats go back to the screen game, looking for Keandre Smith, and no connection.
Some more pressure. Onyeka came up the field and was right in the vision of Mitchell. Now they're going to get the crowd in. Couple second downs that Bo Levi Mitchell has converted. And the crowd says, here, we'll try and help you out. And fired up.
Bo fighting through the crowd noise with a blitz on. Gets it out quickly and stopped. Intercepted, dangerous. Now he fumbles it on the ground. And I think the Hamilton Tiger Cats got back on top of the football.
Did Woodmansey go and recover that? Because it was jumped, I mean, on cue. There's the intended target. And Danbridge, again, no back pedal at all. He gets in a track stance and jumps the curl. Terry Goodwin forced the fumble. Woodmansey gets it. New set of downs for Hamilton.
Well, that's one way to convert on second. The crowd in disbelief here at TD Place. Not just model good looks on Coulter Woodmansey. They can also dig in at the bottom of the pile and go get you the football. 1st and 10 Hamilton somehow. They go with a bubble screen. Kyle Loxley's got some running room right down the middle of the field. Crosses the 50, cuts back against traffic. He beats Carrion Brooks. Can he get a block to the end zone? Yes! The 3rd string quarterback on the final play of the 3rd quarter goes for 6. 75 yards for Kyle Loxley.
Wow, what just happened? We had an interception, we had a fumble, we have a bubble screen, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats coaching staff stick with Kyle Loxley on this. They've had some issues with this, and the formation throughout this game, there's looked like there's been at times they've been a little confused, and Loxley maybe in the wrong position. They stuck with it, bubble screen, and there's the athlete taking over. Once he got the ball in his hands, took it to the house.
And somehow Bo Levi Mitchell's at 353 passing yards as he gets his 2nd passing touchdown of the football game. And Mark Leggio gets a chance to make good on his previous miss after the Duke Williams touchdown way back in the 1st quarter. Knocks this one through. 16-9. That is the 3rd quarter of play. Kyle Loxley, released by the Edmonton Elks a couple weeks ago, picked up by Hamilton. Is he a depth quarterback? Is he a running back? Is he a slot receiver? Whatever he is, he's in the end zone. And the Tiger Cats have the lead as we head to the 4th. Well, after 3 quarters of play, the Hamilton Tiger Cats lead 16-9. I thought the lightning storm left earlier on tonight, but we just had a huge bolt of electricity go through TD Place here, Glenn Suter, because Kyle Loxley goes to the end zone. But does he get credit, or does Terry Godwin get credit for this one?
Well, Terry Godwin made 2 big plays there. First of all, Danbridge has the interception. Ottawa looks like they're going to take over, but the ball is stripped by Godwin, who was the intended target, and then Godwin makes the block on the Loxley touchdown to get him in the end zone. That final 5 yards was because of Godwin's block, so he gets the assist on it. But you know, this is, again, Bo Levi Mitchell told us this week, he said, you know, if I throw for 400 yards and we don't win, I'm going to be upset. And he's going to get there at this pace.
He said that after watching his ex-teammate Jake Mayer go for 450 and 4 touchdowns against these Ottawa REDBLACKS and lose in overtime just last week. Well, Bo is going to be on pace to accomplish a lot of that Jake Mayer stat line in his return. But can the REDBLACKS find a way to get another victory Another one at home. It begins with a return by Brandon Dandridge out across the 35-yard line. As another special teams tackle goes to the Acadia alum as we're headed out to the East Coast and touchdown Atlantic tomorrow. Bailey Feltmate, his second special teams tackle of the night.
Well, does he have a third? Come from behind. We don't even need overtime. Let's just take it right down to the final three. No one, by the way, has ever won 3 overtime games in a row. No team in the history of the Canadian Football League. One other team has done it twice. They did it with Calgary Stampeders, did it with Danny Barrett back in 1991 against the BC Lions. That was Doug Flutie's time in BC. But I think Danny Barrett had a little more experience than Dustin Crum when he pulled it off. That year, Stamps went to the Grey Cup. That was the Rocket Ishmael year.
Year of the Rocket.
Yep.
Sean Thomas Erlington is down, and hope that he's going to be okay as he came back on the roster for the first time in a long time here tonight. We'll step away while they take a look at ST. Time now for your Coors Light moment of chill for the Ottawa REDBLACKS coming into the Dustin Crum experience. They had a league low 7% of touchdown drives. Since he's come in, he's doubled it when he's been the quarterback. Up to 14% of touchdown drives come with Crum on the field. But man, has he ever been chilled off tonight by this Tiger Cats defense.
Carney and company have chilled that hot streak out a little bit so far, but there's time to go here.
The Ottawa REDBLACKS on the season, 42 fourth quarter points. Third behind only Toronto and Calgary. Going to need them. Going to find a way to win here at home. Crum pumps, looks over the top, evades the pressure. Now he'll take off and scramble. Big hit. Simone Lawrence. Heat-seeking missile was waiting for Crum to cross the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he definitely does not look. I think I've seen him look to slide once in these now almost 3.5 games. Looking to get that extra yard, and Simone Lawrence flying from the inside. Lines him up, leads with the shoulder. Solid hit, shoulder to shoulder.
Big substitution package came in late for Ottawa. Hamilton blitzes Crum, looking underneath and trying to find Jalen Ackland, whose name we have not said at all tonight.
Really slow start to the year, considering what he did last year with 75 catches, almost 1,200 yards. Now he's in a different position playing this year. And, I thought early on in the season, the first couple of games for Ottawa, he got hit a bunch of times in that new spot. Took a pretty good pounding. I don't know how he's recovered from it. It's been slow, and Crum has just had the last couple of games trouble finding Ackland.
It's the first target of the ball game for Jalen Ackland, who splits out to the top as the lone receiver. No catches. Terrell Pigram comes in, short yardage, sprints off the left-hand side, plunges his way forward. And the Tiger Cats defense not happy about their early movement or...
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. Unless there was movement, I don't see a flag. But there's no question he got it. Ball right on the line.
No,
I think that's just a clean play off the left side and first down.
Anthony Gosselin back on the roster helping out. There's Marco Dubois digging in alongside Pegram. Gets a fresh set of downs here for the REDBLACKS. Crum looks to his left, wanted to slant, has to get off of it. Now he's running right into the waiting arms of that Tiger Cats defense. It's Mohamed Diallo all the way on the other side, and that bloody towel on Dustin Crum says just about everything of how he's been treated by the Tiger Cats defense tonight.
Well, because he thinks of himself as a dual threat and wants to do this. I mean, he wants to run, but the Ticats are putting that extra hit on him. I mean, that's going to be a couple extra ice bags at the end of this one for Crum. Not to say that Calgary and Winnipeg didn't do the same thing when he got out there in the open field, but he's okay with it.
Man down behind the play for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Sean Thomas Erlington, by the way, did make his way over to the sideline with the help of the training staff before we went to break. Yeah, the exhaustion. I was actually just about to marvel at the fact that the first step of Mohamed Diallo tracking down Dustin Crum, that's not a defensive end. I mean, they play him all over the place, but that wasn't Malik Carney that went and chased him down. That was the D-tackle Mohamed Diallo.
Yeah, just the 305 pounds redirecting.
We'll step aside as they look at Diallo. Come back with more after this.
Back here, and he's going to step up and spy Crum, and he voids the zone. This is what we talked about early on. They're playing three-man pressure with zone, but you see Cross come up, and he's going to spy. Well, that's exactly where he would have dropped.
Taking advantage of it that time to the 50-yard line of Hamilton. Gosselin in the game. Make the run. Zip it outside. First catch for Ackland. Yards after the catch. And he gets a gain of 13 on first down. And Ackland was talking a lot in the pregame warm-up and finally gets something to talk about here in the fourth.
Well, I'll tell you what, he looks like a receiver that really would like to get the ball. That's what he looks like on this play. Man, I got the ball in my hands. Get out of here. I'm not going down. Good effort.
Had the mic drop moment, opening drive touchdown week 6 last year against Hamilton at Tim Hortons Field. Knows all the guys on the other side on that defense. As they split Devontae Williams out wide this time. Tons of time for Crum. Steps forward in the pocket, looks for a lead block, picks a hole, dives forward. A gain of 9, it looks like, on first down.
All right, Jones going to go with short yardage right here or go second down regular offense and have a whole lot of options. Oh, no, they're going to give him the first. So he just got a new set.
Nice work from Crum, adding to his quarterback CFL leading rushing total. They get a fresh set. This is a formation they used the first offensive snap of the ball game. Here shoots. Hard count. And it looks like they got Chris Edwards. He was blitzing hard off the edge.
That's exactly what it was. Hard count from Crum. Again, you know, maturity beyond his years to use the snap count as a weapon. The offensive advantage, the blitz was coming from here, as you mentioned, from Chris Edwards. And he hard counts it.
Procedure, Ottawa, number 61. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Now they're saying that
they got Desjardins, the left guard.
Yeah, Desjardins moved first. Take one more look because the fans don't like it. Desjardins right there, so let's see, does he move? I didn't think he did. No, that's not sure about that call.
He was rocking back, but I think Edwards was
already in the neutral zone.
Yeah. The lesser of two evils, you'd have to think on that one, but regardless, creates a bit of a hole. 1st and 15. Crum flips the football, gets it out. Ackland, another catch, fumbles it, and gets back on top. And it'll be a minimal gain, and now Edwards goes for a run at the end of the play and takes an unnecessary roughness as Nate Bahar will celebrate drawing the penalty flag from Chris Edwards. They've been talking all game. Bahar playing a lot of that inside slot blocking on running plays, and he finally baited Chris Edwards into taking a dumb one.
Well, Bahar was blocking Edwards on this play, and Edwards didn't like it and played beyond the whistle.
After the play, we have a post-play 15-yard misconduct on Hamilton, number 24. Half the distance to goal, automatic first down.
Difference between regular penalties and penalties after the whistle. And penalties after the whistle are undisciplined penalties. And that's exactly what Chris Edwards just got, an undisciplined penalty.
Most penalized team in the CFL, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, for the first 7 weeks, as Edwards takes what would have been a 2nd and 11 for a young quarterback with pressure on to get a touchdown and gives him a 1st and 10 from the 14. It's a gift for a Red Blacks offense whose score zone percentages are not good. Can they take advantage? Crum keeps the football, tackled from behind. Looks like it's behind the line of scrimmage, and that'll go down as a sack for Casey Sales.
Yeah, Edwards came hard around the edge, and you know, I think he talked to the ref right afterwards. He's better be careful because the penalty he just got, if he gets another one that is a similar penalty for an after the whistle type of thing, he's not only gets the 15 yards again, but he is thrown out of the game. He got involved in the tackle first, and he gave an extra push there, and then said something to the official.
Pressure look from the Tiger Cats. Crum looks to his left, pumps, comes back to the right, dances away from 2 men, and gets stacked up, runs right in to the Tiger Cats' best tackler, Jameer Thurman, in the middle of it. Or was it Simone Lawrence? Also picking himself up off the bottom.
Well, I tell you what, this is a tough kid. I mean, he is not backing down. He is running straight down Main Street, and he's not hook sliding either. Now that is a solid shot from Jameer Thurman, right in the chest plate.
And an interesting call here. Obviously plenty of time remaining, 8:15 in the ball game. That's 16-9. And what does a field goal get you when you're down this deep? We'll find out by the end of the game. Obviously play the results on that one a little bit, but Ottawa crowd that stayed through the lightning delay wanted to see the offense stay on the field.
8 minutes, a lot of time.
Yep. Leone puts it down. Ward hammers it through as we get a look at Jameer Thurman. 39 tackles coming into this evening. One of the hardest hitters in the CFL. Whoop. He got all of Dustin Crum. The CFL on TSN continues. Look at that place, St. Mary's University. Is that going to be home of the start of a double header? Live from Halifax, coverage kicks off with a touchdown Atlantic showdown between the Rough Riders and the Argos. And it will continue with the Lions versus the Elks. It all gets underway at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on TSN. Looking forward to seeing some touchdown Atlantic action out there at St. Mary's University. Inside handoff goes to James Butler. As we welcome in those of you watching on TSN 3, welcome to a lightning delayed showdown in the East Division between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Ottawa Redblacks. 16-12 your score. Marshall Ferguson, Glenn Suter, and Kenzie Lalonde down at field level for us here throughout the evening. With the Tiger Cats sitting at 2nd and 5. Levi Mitchell in his return after 4 games away rolls to his right, looks down the field, fades this one high, up for grabs. Alonzo Adai came down with it. The 3rd interception of the night for the Red Blacks defense.
Adai climbs the ladder here and goes right over Tim White to steal this ball. It's a jump ball. Mitchell on the run is going to throw it up. And watch how Adai goes up. Doesn't really even high point. It just goes up and rips it out of Tim White's hand. We get a good look at it here on the ISO. It's going to be dropped off by Brooks. Adai picks him up from the middle, and ball is up. Go up and get it. Great play.
Members of the 73 Grey Cup Championship team watching on in the background. Locked on to Alonzo Adai.
Dickie Adams was a DB. He's going, yeah, man.
Biggest smile in the crowd on that one. Great play by Alonzo Adai. Former 2nd-round pick of the Red Blacks out of West Virginia. Right down the chute is Devontae Williams. He called for that one a little earlier, Suits, and We finally get them going here. They get the field goal. They trail by 4, 6.5 to go, and the running game is back.
Yeah, and it still counts. It still matters because now we're deep into the fourth, but Hamilton's defensively are looking so much at 18. I mean, they are locked into containing Crum. Get Williams out there a few more times. Even if you flare him out, you might get him into some open space.
That comes up to Crum on 1st and 10 after the big Williams run. Nobody home, takes off, and just lunges forward back to the line. It was the 4th interception of the night for Bo Levi Mitchell there, flipping it up and having it taken away. That gives Ottawa another opportunity to get back in the football game here.
Well, just as I mentioned it, Devontae Williams does flare out of the backfield, and I think Crum wanted him, but he's going to get covered down here by Simone Lawrence. So 31 leaves the backfield. Simone goes with him. That's why Crum thought, well, if the linebacker's gone, I'm going to try and run up the middle, but they rally to it.
Pressure look on. They'll walk up. Jonathan Combo loops around. Ball is gone. Shaq Evans can't hang on to it. Chris Edwards right there to give him some pressure. And Evans heard the footsteps.
Made a catch earlier, but he's still not back yet. First game off the 6-game injured. Had a tremendous training camp by all accounts.
Five targets, 1 catch for Evans on the evening. So Ottawa will send it away once again. I haven't said Tyreek McAllister's name very much here in the return game the last little while. They'll get an opportunity with this ball down at his own 15-yard line. Straight up the chute, bounces off 2 tackles, and he might be free. He made Leone miss and is finally wrapped up. Kenny Onyeka saves the day. And McAllister nearly took one all the way right down the middle.
You just got the feeling that he was just a step ahead. Let's see. Cover teams in their lanes. Look like they got a little stack there. That's 2 Ottawa REDBLACKS in the same cover lane, and you get a guy with that kind of quickness. One little mistake and he'll find a seam. How about Onyeka though? Hustle down, stay in your lane, outside, and now pursuit to the football. Pursuit.
Something's happening.
He's gotta get him. And if he doesn't dive right at that moment, there's no chance for a second dive.
7th special teams tackle of the year for Kenny Onyeka. 4th rounder out of Carleton in his 4th year here with the REDBLACKS. 4 interceptions coming into the night. He's got 4 tonight. Bo Levi Mitchell just threw his 5th.
Tim White is the intended receiver. He's going to just sit in the curl. Hit from behind. Ball pops out. Was it Danbridge again? With the hit to dislodge it? I think it is. Just tremendous timing to hit White in the back, get his momentum going forward, and the ball pops out into the hands of Griffin.
And he can't believe it. Douglas Coleman, Abdul Kana, Frankie Griffin, Alonzo Adai, and Brandon Dandridge. 5 interceptions, 5 different players on the REDBLACKS defense. As the weak side linebacker, who's really known for making great plays at the line of scrimmage, bailed out, found a little present for himself.
Well, that's hustle too, right? Frankie Griffin just flying to the football. That's what defense is. Fly to the football when it's in the air, and good things will happen.
And Mohamed Diallo is down with a cramp once again as Bo sitting on the bench. Taylor Powell looking it over. Haven't seen him take a single snap tonight. There's Matthew Schultz, injured and out of the lineup. And the cutoff, the far right side.
Yeah, no, that one's not on Bo. I mean, he hit Tim White in the chest, and it's just a great timing hit from Brandon Danbridge. Sometimes defense earn it and make the play, and that's exactly what happened. Him again. Third game in a row that he's made an impact play.
Bo in disbelief. I think we've all been there. You show your friend your phone and go, look at this. Can you believe this?
Well, you know, a couple have been on him. I mean, he's got 2 touchdowns tonight. He's closing in on 400 yards passing tonight, but he's also thrown 5 interceptions tonight. A couple that have just sort of been, he's been baited. That one, he got bailed out by a fumble, forced fumble by Godwin, but and that one not Tim, or on Tim White, not Mitchell. But again, some 3 of the 5 decisions.
Bo's last 3 passes, a 75-yard touchdown pass to Kyle Loxley, interception, interception.
Yeah, I mean,
it's been that kind of night. I mean, for either offense. And the other crazy thing about this, he told us this week, guys, if I throw for 450 and 4 touchdowns and I lose, we're going to have an issue.
Yeah.
We all laughed, right?
Yeah.
Well, the league lead in interceptions is Jake Mayer with 9. Well, Bo Levi Mitchell now is tied for the league lead in interceptions with 9 with Jake Mayer, his old Calgary teammate, who last week had 450 and 4 touchdowns and lost.
And a 4-point game who against a team in Crum, led by Crum, back-to-back overtime wins.
Will Mayer and Bo have the same fate back-to-back weeks for 2 different teams? Brown looking to run on 2nd down. 4th quarter magic. He finds the sticks and converts.
On that run alone, I think about our talk with him this week when he goes, why don't more quarterbacks run? There's a lot of room out there. Now he has to make a couple of moves and use some speed to get outside.
And it looks like Ottawa used one of their timeouts before the 3-minute warning here. Yep, so they burned this one in order to make sure that they
3
use
minutes
it.
and 4 seconds on the clock. 3:04.
Now at some point, and I'm just going to bring it up one time because I love watching this kid be a dual threat guy. But at some point, Carr Jones got to have a talk with him and say, there are going to be times when you get in the open field, don't take that hit. Take as many yards as you can, hook slide, and we'll line up again. But you know, sometimes we emphasize that. I mean, I just be a dual threat. Let's see it. Does he have a 3rd one in him?
This is where he has been special over the last 2 games. Steps forward, loads it up. The rare deep shot down the field, looking outside and split in between Jalen Acklin and Nate Bahar on 1st and 10.
Yeah, you know, I think Jalen Acklin thought he was the target at first and then looked to Bahar and thought, well, maybe it's for you. And they both hesitated.
Both took a look at it. Neither of them got to it. Acklin a little lost. Tunde Adeleke there in the coverage. We've hit the 3-minute warning. Is it time for another crumb back? Come on back and find out. We are headed off to Halifax tomorrow. It's the Rough Riders and the Argonauts. It's on TSN, CBS Sports Network as well. Enjoy some East Coast hospitality as the Riders will take on the Argos live from St. Mary's University. And then it's followed up by the Rough Riders the Lions against the Elks. And it all gets underway at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific, only on TSN. As 2nd down here, pressure on. Dustin Crum brought down, sack taken right down the chute. It was Stavros Katsantonis' first sack of the season, and Simone Lawrence was there to wrap up the ankles and finish it off.
Wow, safety blitz, and something that Mark Washington does not run all game long, and then in the key moment, because field goal range here, if Crum doesn't get the 1st down, he kicks the field goal. It's a 1-point game. They can kick off deep, hope for the 2 and out. Hamilton has to get some 1st downs to finish it with a 1-point lead. But now, out of field goal range, forced to kick it.
Orlando Steinauer was the defensive coordinator of the Hamilton Tiger Cats before going to Fresno State and coming back to be the head coach. That was a favorite of his in crunch time. Free safety right down the middle. Pays off for the Hamilton defense. Now the special teams can't create any sort of return. And now it'll be on Bo Levi Mitchell, who basically just has to laugh off the 5th interception and go out and find a way.
Yeah, grind it down. We'll see a little run game here. Keep the clock running, but that Baron Miles, now it's up to him. How can he get pressure? Maybe Danbridge got another one in him, but you're right. Trump now goes to Bo Levi Mitchell in this Hamilton offense. They got a chance to grind this down. Expect from Baron Miles, run blitz. In other words, put the linebackers on the line of scrimmage. Expect that they're going to hand it off, try and grind the clock down and get them in 2nd and long.
5 turnovers acquired tonight by the Ottawa REDBLACKS defense. Only 6 points off of those 5 turnovers. Offense not able to create. Heavy package in here for the Tiger Cats. Trying to burn some clock. James Butler gains to the outside. Before he is brought down, Javon Santos Knox on the tackle. Substitutions on both sides. Dayton Black, 1st round pick of the Tiger Cats this year, checks out. So too does Schaefer, the nose tackle. They're playing shot for shot on personnel. A couple big bodies come out. And will they put the ball in the hands of Bo Levi Mitchell on a night where he's 23 of 40 with 2 touchdowns but 5 interceptions?
Or will they throw to the short side where Brandon Danbridge hangs out?
Danbridge will be to the top of your screen. There he is, 37 in that classic bucket for the Ottawa Rough Riders, 1973 championship night. There he is at the top. He'll line up across from Terry Godwin. Mitchell in the gun, 5 receivers. No blitz, just a 4-man rush. Mitchell moves to his right, dances away from 2 men, and Bo's going to try to run for it. Stumbles his way forward just shy of the 30-yard line.
That's a full 2. I don't think there's any question. There will be no gamble here from Steinauer.
Bo told us this week, Suits, that he was trying to replicate the movement of that injury that made him miss 4 games. That's exactly what he just did, rolling to his right, stuttering and trying to step forward. Well, I guess if you're a Tiger Cats fan, the thumbs up is that he didn't re-injure it in the most difficult movement of the night in his return from that injury, but you still got to kick it away for a REDBLACKS offense that trails by 4.
Are there any Crumback t-shirts left? I'm just saying.
If it happens a 3rd time, they're going to sell out about 5 minutes after this one's done. Dandridge tries to spin away in the open field. A starting receiver, Keandre Smith, makes the tackle on a 47-yard punt. The 4th rounder out of Guelph downfield in a hurry.
That is a huge play. That just gives their defense a ton of momentum. Keandre Smith on the teams with a guy with the kind of speed that Dandridge has, doesn't let him escape and get even any momentum going. And now it's a long field.
Keandre knows that one was nice.
That's big.
Well, in these situations, last couple of weeks, it's been a whole lot of Nate Bahar. He lines up at the inside receiver. Crum will screen it back the other direction. Williams has got lots of running room. 2 blockers out in front. Javian Elliott beats the block, but Williams is going to be inside the 40-yard line on a simple little screen, and it goes all the way for a 36-yard gain.
Blitz from both Edwards and Simone Lawrence, and they go screen in behind it. What a great call by Kahari Jones. If the linebackers are going to send the pressure, which is created a couple of sacks even from the safety, go screen to your back and get him in open field. What a great call by Kahari Jones there.
Crum on 1st and 10. Deep drop. Pass the ball, zips it out to Justin Hardy. He turns and runs away from Chris Edwards. Now makes Jameer Thurman miss and dives inside the 25. It'll be another 1st down for the REDBLACKS.
Good patience here from Crum. Wait till he clears through the linebacking core, and then you leave it in the hands of Hardy. Nice move on the spin. First down.
Inside 90 seconds. Crum and the Red Blacks trailing by 4. Takes the snap, looks run, hands it inside. Williams makes the first man miss. Nearly the second and third before Carney finally tracks it down from behind.
3-down football, so Kahari Jones can call basically like this is a first down play. Doesn't have to force it, still time.
Kahari versus Mark Washington. How many times have they had this matchup in crunch time? Ticats bail out. Underneath, and it's incomplete. Oh, did it bounce up into the air and back to a lineman? Special delivery. Cyril Hogan St. Don out of Laval.
Hogan St. Don goes, okay, all right, this is new to me. See who gets a piece of it. Well, just straight through his hands, and then it off the foot. And that's pretty good. That's athleticism right there.
He's a center. They got hands.
Okay.
3rd and 6. Gotta have it for the Red Blacks. Inside a minute remaining. Down by 4. Over the middle. Big catch. Nate Bahar. First down.
So they're going to spy. Right now, Hamilton defensively are thinking this is going to be quarterback draw on 3rd down, and Crum's going to try to run. So they put Thurman right at the line of scrimmage, spying him, and they throw it right behind him to Bahar.
Again, Crum signaling at the line of scrimmage. They go quickly as it's whistled in. At what point does Hamilton send pressure and force the issue? Just 4-man rush again. Stepping forward, going for a run. It's Crum running right into tacklers inside the 5 on first down. Really reminiscent of week 5, where he ended up 2 yards shy of being able to bring Ottawa back and go for a 2-point. He gets a TD here, it'll be a lot more.
Looking for that seam.
And the Ottawa fans don't like the cramp. Timely.
Jonathan Kongbo is coming into the game, substituting in.
Trey Crawford is down.
Yeah, Crawford. Now Crawford has to leave for 3 plays, but clearly Hamilton needing get their defense a little bit of a rest and get to regroup here.
On 2nd and 2 from the 4, Suits. I mean, obviously they can get a first down without needing to score. 36 seconds left. It's not like you're trying to just get 2 yards. You're not trying to just get 3 yards. But this is 3-down territory, and you've got that extra set of downs available as well.
Exactly, and that's important because you could run off tackle here. It's a big part of the scenario and the play calling between these two.
And listen to TD Place.
Now they're going big team. Just because of that, you can get the first down. You only need 2 yards. So Ottawa offensively going big team in a substitution with Ted Laurent coming in for the Hamilton Tiger Cats and Kyle Wilson.
A place where there was 13 straight home losses. They broke it on Canada Day weekend with Tyree Adams as the starting quarterback. Hamilton has beaten the Red Blacks 8 straight times. Blood on the hand of Dustin Crum. Antti Milanovic-Litre is in the backfield. The hammer, 2 touchdowns on the season. Heavy team is in. They'll turn. Give it to Litre. He dives forward. Looks like it's a gain, but it's not enough for a first down from here.
Now you bring in the regular offense. Still 3rd and 2, so didn't look like Milanovic-Litre got anything on that run.
And keep in mind they'll whistle this in with 22 seconds remaining after the substitutions are made by both sides. So Chris Edwards checks back into the ball game at strong side linebacker. Third down conversions. Ottawa 3 of 3 here on the night. They whistle it in. Clock rolls inside 20 seconds. Third down and 2. Dustin Crum, he'll throw. Knocked down. Casey Sales got a big mitt on it.
What a
And a late flag comes up along the Ottawa sideline.
Oh boy. Hold on.
What has happened here?
Casey Sales with a huge play on third down. But what happened right in front of the Ottawa bench?
I imagine it would be after the play. And it would just back up the Hamilton offense, but still have to snap the ball. Time remaining on the clock from way back in their own end. As Kenneth George Jr., a little chest tap saying, "That's on me."
After the play, misconduct foul, 10-yard penalty on Hamilton, number 3. After distance to goal. It's first down, Hamilton.
Because it was after the play was over. The biggest play of the game and the play that matters is the Casey Sales knockdown, because Bahar is open on a dig route right here in the end zone. And he times his jump perfectly, and with the left hand knocks it down on third down. Now, had that trash talking happen a few seconds earlier, it's first down Ottawa inside the 5, but it was after the play, and therefore Hamilton gets possession.
Headset is off Bob Dice. Hamilton backed up at their own 2-yard line. They're just going to plunge their way forward as Bo Levi Mitchell in to take it. Did Bo just get rolled up on?
I think he did. They're bringing in the training staff.
That athletic therapist Claire Toffelmeyer wakes her way off the sideline quickly.
Santos Knox is trying to pull him backwards. He gets him, he dives past him and then tries to pull him backwards. And you're right, his legs are rolled on. I mean, at 13 seconds, you can kneel down.
Why not have
kneel down twice?
Well, I'm not sure you can go backwards much necessarily, but why not have Taylor Powell and short yardage quarterback? Kai Loxley's done short yardage in Edmonton.
He grabs his ankle. Go back to that third down play while they're looking at Bo Levi Mitchell and Casey Sales knockdown. This is Bahar right here, and Bahar is going to run this dig route, and he is there. I mean, this is a heads-up play by a veteran D lineman, not going up the field, sliding across the line of scrimmage, timing up the jump, the throw, and knocking that down. I mean, that's the play of the game. Bo Levi Mitchell grabbed his ankle. I mean, you can leave your starting quarterback in those situations, you know, Marsh, but why didn't you just kneel down twice? Because
Bo's not going to put any weight on that right ankle as Rolando Steinauer is out. Missed 4 games with a lower body injury after a Week 2 loss against the Toronto Argonauts.
They're going to bring the card out, or at least some O-line help, or some of the big guys to help Bo off the field. There you go.
A couple of the young offensive linemen, and I'd say adding injury to insult after a 5-interception night, but I mean, I'm sure Bo was going to be happy to come out of here with a victory regardless of what his stat line ended up looking like in his return. And just a strange way to have this one end. So Bo is on the sideline, and now Taylor Powell gets his first snap of the night. We were told we might see him. They'll dig in here for victory formation. And Dave Foxcroft wisely whistles this one down as quickly as possible. That was a wild matchup between the Hamilton Tiger Cats and the Ottawa Redblacks. Lightning delayed. Once it got going back and forth, Suits, final thought on
well,
heck of a night.
It really was. I mean, so many big plays, some mistakes that were capitalized on, and third straight game in a row, Dustin Crum inside the 5-yard line with a chance for one more Crum back. Fell short.
Ottawa was so close to writing another chapter in what has been an incredible stretch. It started back in week 5 against the Hamilton Tiger Cats, and Crum came up 2 yards shy. Tonight he comes up with a third down pass that gets knocked down. Tomorrow, touchdown Atlantic. CFL and TSN heads out east. Hope everybody in Halifax is fired up about that one, and a doubleheader, the Lions and the Elks as well. For all of us here in the nation's capital, for Glenn Suter, Kenzie Lalonde down at field level, and our entire crew, thanks so much for watching. Time now for SportsCenter.